Hello everyone, we're in the Theatre Cafe with the lovely folks from La Boheme at Trafalgar Studios with Becca Marriot and Lizzie Holmes. Welcome, welcome. Is this your first time here?
It is my first time here. It's lovely.
It's nice, isn't it? Enjoying all this showbiz.
Yeah.
I mean, basically you have to walk up and down with jazz hands. Yeah. It's quite difficult drinking coffee with jazz hands.
And the coffee drinks are my favourite.
I know, it's cool. Well, we've just because we've just announced Chicago's coming to town. We are asking people to try and name a new drink after Chicago. Can you think of one?
Hot squish sip.
Oh yes, love it,
Not
love
just
it.
as pretty.
No, that's good, that's good. Obviously, we are here to talk about La Boheme. You had opening night this week.
We did.
Went well.
Really good.
Fantastic reviews. So just tell me a bit about the show.
So the show is it's a reworking of Puccini's original La Boheme. Everyone always asks, what's the plot? The problem with La Boheme is it's based on a novel called Scenes from the Life Boheme by a chap called Henri Berger, which was written in French, and it literally is little snapshots of people's lives. So when Puccini cut that down and he turned it into an opera, he focused on four main characters: Marcello, Rodolfo, Mimi and Musetta. And we've updated our version, so we can't have a Marcello and a Rodolfo, so we've got a Mark and a Rafe, a little bit more hipster, a little bit more London. And basically what the play, the opera and our show is all trying to get at is these really difficult relationships. The characters are all addicted to each other and they're in these really toxic relationships that are destroying themselves. And in the original Mimi, you find out from the beginning, she walks on stage coughing her guts up, that she's got TB. She's dying of consumption, but our Mimi is not. Instead of her coughing her guts up and passing out, you find out in the first 5 minutes that she is a heroin user, and eventually, as the plot thickens, this addiction comes around to destroy her, really.
And you touched upon the fact that you've reworked it. It's set in East London, isn't it?
It is.
And it's remarkable. I had 3 friends in last night who aren't opera fans, but they're coming for me. And they couldn't believe how funny it was. Like, the audience are in stitches, and that's down to your reworking of it. So many of the jokes that is so current, and they're huge belly laughs all through the first half.
Just to clarify, so I sing the role of Mimi, but I also co-wrote the adaptation and I wrote the translation. So what we've tried to do is we've really tried to play on the idea that the more happy the first half is, the more you fall in love with these characters, the more real and tangible they are, the worse the tragedy is at the end when it all falls apart. Certainly the Times review that just came out, I think, summed it up really nicely, that for the first half it is the funniest show in town, and for the second half just don't expect it to stay the same.
And were you a big fan of the opera then? Is that where this came from?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a classically trained opera singer and I absolutely love opera, and it's so amazingly beautiful. The music, the story, everything about it. The thing that we wanted to do was we wanted to really bring that closer to different audiences, especially younger audiences. And I think by giving more time to the central 4 characters and really developing their stories, that's something that we've managed to do. Also adding on our hipster updating. You've got your references to current politics, references to social media. Yeah, I think we've got it with the zeitgeist now.
And you did it first of all up at the King's Head Theatre. What's it been like transferring down to Trafalgar Studios? You know, what sort of challenges have you faced with that?
So the original production was sort of in the round. The King's Head Theatre has 2 formats, either very much surrounded by audience on all sides or end on. And when we did this production, we were surrounded by audience on all sides, which really lent itself to the production, which takes place in several different locations, but all within one space because there's no time or place for any massive scene changes. The Trafalgar Studios is a different setup. It's a studio sort of black box on 3 sides, which did lead to some challenges, restaging, but I think we've really got it right. I think we've really nailed finding the difference between all the different locations, because we've got Act 1 and Act 4, which are set in this sort of very hipster Dalston flat, replete with light up bunny rabbit and all the detritus of slightly filthy male life. And then we've got Act 3, which is set in the alleyways and streets outside the Café de Paris in Soho. And Act 2, which is set in a rather hipster bar called the Cat and Mutton, which is in Dalston. So you can actually go and visit all the on-site locations, the sightseeing tour of
see them for yourself. Yeah. And it's really you're very close to the audience, aren't you, in the Trafalgar Studios? So what is that like, particularly portraying the characters that you are? How is that? You know, how do you have to change your performance?
One for you.
So I'm doing Becca's doing 5 shows a week, and I'm doing 3 as Media Week, and then 2 as Musetta.
Wow.
So
okay.
I had my second Musetta show last night, and it is last week, and it's so different, the 2 characters, how they engage with the audience, but especially for Musetta, she is a force to be reckoned with. It is audience participation to the max, and it is so much fun because it's different every single night, and we will pick out a man in the audience and play with him.
So if you're looking for a Christmas present for your father or your dirty uncle, a seat in the front row of La Boheme might be.
Put that out there.
That's a Christmas present.
And the funniest ones is not the reaction of the person, but of the people surrounding it, because people love to watch people in really awkward situations, and you'll see abject horror. So it's a real laugh.
Okay, we're going to just finish there after one more thing, but we are going to have a little performance, which is going to be very exciting. So we're going to do a few songs from the show. Just before we do that, tell us why people should come, and tell us when it's on until.
Ooh, well, can we both do that?
Of course.
So I think
I
think you should come because this is a really great chance to see opera in a completely radical form, really close up, so close that you can touch the opera singers, and probably will. And the show ends on the 6th of January, so you've got to get in quickly.
Lizzie, okay, why do we have to come? Because the music sweeps you up and you're there, but it's the storytelling of these central 4 characters and seeing them that close, and that story. It's theatre with extra. Theatre and extra, isn't it?
Theatre plus.
Theatre
Okay,
plus.
so La Boheme at the Trafalgar Studios until the
6th of January.
6th of January. But stay tuned, we are going to have a performance which we're going to just have a little rehearsal for, and then we'll be back with you. See you in a minute.